Ladies and gentlemen, Mullet Mike Hardcastle here with us, Battle and Full Screen Networks, bringing you another edition of Creepy Gaming. Today we will be discussing the much anticipated We Happy Few. So without any further ado, turn the lights down and the volume up as we journey into some creepy gaming. We Happy Few was first revealed on February 26, 2015 and has been a highly anticipated title ever since. As of the writing of this episode, this game has just been released to the public. I typically wait for games to be out for a little while to collect as many secrets and Easter eggs as I possibly can, but because I am loving this game so much, I just felt like sharing a few bizarre things that I've noticed right off the bat. But first, a little background. You play as 3 different characters who live in this retro-futuristic version of 20th century London. The art direction and gameplay style is very reminiscent of that of BioShock. You start the game as Arthur, a redactor for the local paper. This immediately shows us what kind of dictating government we live under in this world. Not just that, but here's the kicker. Citizens are forced to take joy, a hallucinogenic medicine that veils reality. If you fail to comply, fellow citizens will call you out as a quote-unquote downer, causing these creepy bobbies to chase you down. A great example of this is the game's opening. Arthur is reminded of a troubled past. After being at least partially reminded, you eventually go off to your office party. Once there, you get a whack at the piñata. Once you strike, your joy is completely worn off and you see reality for what it really is.
I really miss the piñata. It's the most adorable Spanish custom. Uncle Jack did a whole show about it. You smash it until all the candy comes out. Come on, hit it! Hit it! Hit it! You are off your joy. Take one of mine. Oh my lord. He's a downer. Call security. We've got a downer.
This game deals with some pretty deep themes. It's all about lifting the veil and becoming enlightened. Hell, considering the recent episodes, I might as well coin this the season of enlightenment. From what I've played so far, the creepiness is surface level for the most part, with occasionally deep underlying themes. I mean, all the happy, freaky faces alone is enough nightmare fuel to power you for the better part of a year. But the execution is great. This crowd-funded indie game turned AAA really made an impression by standing out in a sea of generic horror. Most are probably familiar already with the sadistic bobbies or the overjoyed citizens, but a standout character to me is Uncle Jack.
Wakey, wakey, everyone. It's another fabulous day in Wellington Wells. The weather is only slightly rainy with streaks of lovely sunshine. Everyone in Wellington Wells is doing exactly what he or she ought to. Smiling and laughing and taking their joy. What about you?
This game is already disturbing enough, but include a full motion video character like Uncle Jack, and it just adds another layer of creepiness. see. Let's give him another messed up story. Foggy Jack strikes again.
Inspector Royston Luckenbill reminds the public that the alleged murderer, known as Foggy Jack, does not exist. No, he's just a fairy tale, states Inspector Luckenbill, and we all know how horrible those are. There are definitely no victims found in the street in the morning with certain organs surgically removed. No. And
no, not disturbing at all.
Even if there were, what on earth were those people doing out after dark, eh?
The disturbing setting, along with the societal conformity, strikes a deep nerve into creepy gaming history. We Happy Few had many influences. The developers at Compulsion Games have gone on record stating such influences as Doctor Who, 1984, and A Clockwork Orange. Which seems pretty obvious, but here's a deep cut for you. Whether inspired directly by or not, there was another societal dystopia way before We Happy Few that strikes a few familiar chords. In the 1975 film A Boy and His Dog, a young Don Johnson and his canine companion live in this post-apocalyptic wasteland. The movie, in turn, was based off of a Harlan Ellison story. In the second act, our two main characters find themselves in this weird underground city full of these happy clown-faced freaks. Seem familiar. To top it off, and spoilers for the movie by the way, but the government was behind this strange civilization to help preserve a once beloved era now long gone. Ironically, this movie was said to be one of George Miller's main inspirations for his Mad Max series. I felt like I just needed to mention this little B-movie gem. I noticed the similarities between the film and We Happy Few immediately and just thought I'd point it out. Oh, and did I mention that the dog could talk?
I hope the next time you play with yourself you go blind.
Yeah, it's pretty badass for any horror geek. Now I'd like to point out, I don't feel like We Happy Few directly ripped off A Boy and His Dog, but rather used a familiar premise to create a world of their own. Overall, We Happy Few is an extremely refreshing horror game. Rather than being dark and gritty like recent titles, this one decides to be more psychedelic and disturbing. Well, there you have it, folks. I've said it in the past, I like to make each episode of Creepy Gaming different to freshen things up, and I must admit this edition was pretty different. I look forward to more We Happy Few as well as the open world content yet to be released. I might make a follow-up video one day if any major secrets or Easter eggs surface, but for today, I simply wanted to celebrate both Compulsion Games and Gearbox for the direction they took. Here's hoping for more horror games with a refreshing twist like We Happy Few. From what I've played, I've thoroughly enjoyed this title. I strongly suggest it for any psychological horror fan. That's going to do it for me today, folks. I hope you enjoyed this edition of Creepy Gaming. I am Mullet Mike with the and full screen saying, sticky, stay creepy. Thank you all so much for watching. Peace!